Well, it's a beautiful morning in the desert. Wanted to make a video about gas firing, propane firing pottery in a kiln. We've been doing this for, close to 3 years now, or about 3 years. And I just use a regular barbecue grill propane tank in a small kiln, electric kiln converted to propane. I usually set the propane bottle in this bucket of water. Kind of helps keep the tank from freezing and keeps the pressure up. I know there's videos out there about firing this way. Oh, and this by the way, is an old greenhouse that we decided we were more potters than growing stuff. So it made a pretty good place to do our firings. We have this old kiln that we really don't use anymore. When we were bisque firing, which we don't do anymore, we were using this for a lot of bisque firing, and the temperature was too hard to control inside of this big kiln because it's updraft. It has a hole right there. Anyways, it's not the best setup in the world. I kind of wanted to talk about, I don't want to bore you, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the pros and cons of propane firing pottery in an old electric kiln. It's challenging. What I'm using is a weed burner. You can see where it goes out the door, attached to my propane tank out there. It's a weed burner. That's all it is. They're inexpensive. It works. Is it the most efficient and the most practical? No, but if you're on a budget, it'll work. You can make it work. I use a pyrometer on the top part there to measure the heat in the kiln. And this is a converted kiln into a downdraft. This opening is not open to the top of the kiln. It's a downdraft. Now, this is a firing that we did yesterday, and here is some of my charts that I've done over the last several firings. This one sucked, and I wrote some bad words on there, but this one sucked. It took me nearly 11 hours to get to close to cone 5 on the top shelf, and I ended up beyond cone 5, or really beyond cone 6 on the lower shelf. Now the kiln was pretty heavily loaded, and I tried a little bit different shelf arrangement, so that may have been part of the problem. That's why I wanted to say that, firing with propane gas kiln, it's challenging. The smaller the kiln is easier to control, I think, the temperature in and around everything, than a larger kiln if you're doing it this way. It seems like the larger kiln, you get a lot of cold spots. The circulation of heat isn't always consistent all the way around. But if you have a smaller kiln like this one, what is this? This one's an old Cress kiln that we converted. The electrical parts of this don't work anymore. There's no more electrical components inside the kiln either. But we wanted to see if we were going to stick with this as potters before we invested in, a $4,000 kiln and had the electricity converted so that we could, do 240 volt and all that. We weren't even really sure where in or around the house we wanted to put an electric kiln. So we went this route, and it's been okay. We've done some pretty nice firings. We've had some pretty nice results, but we've also had a lot of failures. We've also had a lot of disappointments, and a lot of that's a learning curve. There's a lot of good videos on YouTube about firing with propane to kind of help you kind of make decisions for yourself. But I just wanted to talk about our experience. It's not been bad, but we're really looking forward to going ahead and upgrading, in our opinion, upgrading to electric kiln. Now, some people I know, because of your living conditions in a city or a town or somewhere where you can't do a gas kiln, you can't do this. But with gas, you can get reduction. You can do pottery with reduction results, which can be very appealing. But honestly, with a lot of the modern glazes that are available today from Amaco, Mayco, stoneware, we fire cone 6, by the way, 5/6. You can get a lot of beautiful glazes that don't really need to go into reduction. The only thing I really like about the gas kiln the most is I do like to do some pottery with wood ash, kind of a wood ash formula that is basically burnt wood ashes sifted with a little bit of Velspar mixed with it. And honestly, I mix a little bit of clear glaze with my formula too, and I either blow it on or brush it on. But you can get some pretty results, some nice earthy results, you might say, from firing with a gas kiln, if you're going that route. But electric kiln is just more, I think, is going to be much more efficient. As we're getting better making pottery, we produce more, so we want to fire more. You have to babysit this. Like this setup, you can't leave it alone. I have to sit with it and check on it at least every 15 minutes or so. I mean, if for whatever reason the wind blew out my burner, that would not be good, because propane would just kind of settle along the floor here and could cause, some really serious problems. But if you don't mind the babysitting it and you do want to fire with gas, this is pretty easy way to go. I learned this from some other potters online. The opening here is larger than the burner, and this is exactly where the burner was yesterday when I had my firing. It's about, I'm gonna say maybe 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches away from the opening, and the opening is quite a bit larger. That helps oxygen get in to the kiln as it's burning. As you're firing, sometimes I have to pull, if I'm having trouble getting up to temperature, I have to pull a plug or two to help oxygen get in there so that it burns a little hotter. It's just a real challenge. But I'm gonna open this up. My wife wanted to be here when I open the kiln. We always like to open the kiln together, but I'm gonna open this up just real quickly. I haven't looked in here yet, so you can kind of get a first view of what happened. That's not too bad. This was a test piece. I did this with just slip and a red glaze. My wife likes to make yarn bowls. That's real pretty. That came out nice. And then there's some pretty cool stuff down there. Yeah, that came out really nice. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you some of our experiences with gas-fired kiln. Another thing I do too is I put my per meter about, they come with these little kind of ceramic little sleeves, and I put mine with two sleeves out. That seems to give me the best accurate reading with my cones. 2 of those little rings out of the kiln, and the rest of it going inside. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you some of our experiences with doing gas fire. It's effective when you're on a budget, or if all you have is an old beat up kiln to use. It's a real inexpensive way to get started, but you got to sit with it. I sat out here with this kiln for about 11 hours yesterday. So that's a little tiring. It'd be nice if you could just program it and walk away and then open the kiln the next day and check it out. But anyways, just wanted to share some of our thoughts, and thank you. Yeah, some of the results from firing in our gas kiln. The cinnamon doesn't seem to like me very much. This is a Mayco cinnamon. Did a little bit of screen printing some designs and an underglaze. This one was marbled clay with just clear. That came out good. This one, another one of those cinnamon. About cone 5. Maybe it needs to go hotter, I don't know. Screen printed. Some kind of, cave writing stuff. This one was wood ash and Velspar. The Velspar didn't, I don't know, kind of left spots, speckles. This is Mayco green tea. Green tea came out nice. The inside came out good. This is the first time trying indigo float on dark chocolate Laguna clay chocolate. It came out pretty nice. And this one was a mug I made for a friend. It's got the New Mexico Zia on it with Mayco root beer, and then it was let's see, tremolin, Amaco tremolin on the rest of it, which kind of gas firing, you know. This teapot came out nice. This was I've been playing around with making kyusus, Japanese teapots. This one came out pretty good. This was done with Mayco iron something. It's iron something. I forget the name of it. But this one came out pretty good. It was supposed to be semi-matte. It's got the built-in strainer. And this one was a Mayco Chino glaze that I just tried to Hasai, I think is the name of it. That one really came out nice. It's kind of satiny. Once again, these were fired to this shelf. Anyway, this was came to cone 5. This came to cone 7 or 8. The bottom shelf. So that's the hard part about gas firing, is you just, you never really know. It's hard for me anyway to get even temperature on the top and bottom shelf. So you almost have to place your pots in a way so that stuff or glazes can stand a little higher firing, put those on the bottom, and then stuff that you want to stay semi-satin or matte, like this pot. This was done on the top shelf. This probably fired to, it probably overfired, is probably why it's got these pits. Yeah. And this really came out nice. This was actually a refire. My wife had glazed with root beer and tremolin and from Amaco. Root beer from Mayco, tremolin from Amaco. So that came out really nice. This one really is beautiful. This is another one of her yarn bowls that has, I guess it's called the, what is it? It's obsidian and 2 other colors, Amaco colors, kind of splotched on to give it that kind of color textured look. But yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the results of our gas firing in our inexpensive propane kiln that sometimes come out good and sometimes they don't. But I really like that indigo float. That worked out pretty well. All right.